Hello and welcome to Kits and Wagers. This is the Midweek Matrix. I am Morpheus, joined by Neo. Welcome into the show, the Midweek Matrix, Volume 2. We did this 2 weeks ago, and I believe we went 10-0 on all of our picks. So we're going to go 10-0 again today. Chris, Neo, welcome in.
Thanks, Adam. I think that the graphics here, if you're watching on YouTube, they're pretty groovy. Nice. It looks kind of like almost Halloween-esque. So I'm kind of into it. A little bit of change of pace. Yeah, and most importantly, midweek we're going to talk a couple of matches, a couple big ones. We're getting towards the last few matches, and a couple things are sewn up, it appears, but there's still a lot of question marks on the relegation, a lot of question marks on the Champions League, and we have a huge North London derby on Thursday that we'll get to. We have, City and Liverpool, or City seem to have it pretty much sewn up here, and but they're still playing a couple big games, so still a lot of implications here. So I'm excited to talk about it. It is Kits and Wagers. I'm not necessarily in a kit, but I am in a jersey today. I'm rocking Milwaukee Bucks number 34, not Giannis. We got Ray Allen, old school here. We're taking it back to about 2001 here. Nice purple jersey, Ray Allen on the back. So a classic, a vintage. They're playing the Boston Celtics in Milwaukee in was it game 4 right now, so looking to take a 3-1 lead. I'm kind of fired up for it. I was watching before. It's at halftime right now, so as usual, dedicated to the game. Ready to talk some soccer here with you, Adam.
Yeah, so you got a connection there. Ray Allen, Supersonics, like you're just going. You're taking like the route of Ray Allen, I guess. I think that's where he started his career. I think it was, wasn't it?
Was he?
We'll figure this out. I'm pretty sure that's where he
We
started his
can't give any
career.
fake news here to the
Wait,
no,
no,
he
he
went. He was in
started.
Milwaukee.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
and then he
I
went
got
to
it mixed
Seattle
up.
after, and
All
then
right.
Boston, and then Miami.
All right, yeah, I got it mixed up. Never mind. All right. Well, I got the white tee on. Michigan. I got Michigan State soccer here. Just a Michigan State soccer shirt. I tried out for the club team my sophomore year. Turns out it was the wrong year to try out. There's only 3 spots open, and I made it to the last day of tryouts, but I did not make the team, unfortunately. But I got this, this tryout shirt for the team. So that's what the Matrix brings in. We got basketball and tryout shirts.
Exactly.
So one of the games we're not going to focus on, but it's actually going to be one of my bets. So let's go to Liverpool, Aston Villa. Let's end with that, just because it's my best bet. Let's do
Okay.
that. So
Okay.
first match we're going to talk about is a relegation battle, and I did want to say that this season is more exciting than, at least the end of it is more exciting than any, at least in recent memory. There hasn't been a real, top of the table battle for a couple years, and then even just relegation. This relegation battle is like you got 3 teams down here. Everton's currently 1 point above Burnley and Leeds, and they're still got a match in hand. So it's pretty exciting. More so than I think last season. There's nothing really going on. Man City
Yeah.
won it, and the relegation battle was decided a long time before the end of the
Right.
season. So
I
definitely
think
more exciting.
we had Man City jog to the champion, to the title there, and then everyone was kind of pretty much relegated, if I recall. The season before, Liverpool jogged to the title too, but was that the season Aston Villa escaped
Yeah,
on game week 38? So
yeah.
yeah,
It was
it's this
Villa.
one.
Villa at
Yeah,
35 and Bournemouth and Watford both at 34.
yeah, it was pretty electric. They got like a draw or something like that with like a late goal. But yeah, this season definitely offers a lot more entertainment, for a variety of reasons.
Yeah, so the first game we're talking about, we got Watford at home against Everton. Watford are plus 320 to win at home. Everton minus 115, and the draw is plus 275. You got over 2.5 goals, minus 115, under 2.5 goals, minus 110. So Everton are just cruising right now, cruising 1 point above. Watford are done for, nothing to play for. I mean, it didn't really look like they had anything to play for the last few matches. They haven't really shown up, I guess you could say, but I mean, I guess they battled Crystal Palace, and I took Crystal Palace -1 in our last show, and of course, that was even though they're up a guy for the final 30 minutes, Watford hung on for a 1-0 loss. So
Yeah.
that one didn't technically hit, but you get your money back on that one. So Everton coming off 2-1 win at Leicester, 2-1 home win against Chelsea, but I went into that Leicester matchup just looking at Everton's away form, and it was pretty ugly. And then they looked like a different team. They still maybe kind of a lucky goal there by Michaelenko, just laser in on a volley, I think it was, from just outside the top of the box. It's not going to happen every game, but are you going Everton? You think they can keep the winning going or what?
I mean, ultimately, yes. I think I would go Everton here, but there's a couple noteworthy things. These two teams played was a little bit earlier this season. I forget the specific date here. Back in
October,
October,
yeah.
Watford won 5-2, so it was kind of interesting. And the other thing is that I mean, Watford haven't won a game since early March. They are completely out of it. They've already been relegated. I wouldn't be surprised to see potentially some younger players, get and as they're going down, maybe get a little bit of Premier League experience, just as kind of like a this kind of always happens at the end of the season. Maybe the last 1 to 2 games where a couple of young players come up and get a couple minutes. Everton, meanwhile, fighting for their Premier League lives, and they've been putting a couple of results together. They are going to be traveling away here, but I still think that just given what they have on the line, the last couple matches that they've played and the results that they've gotten, that they come away with this one. And Watford are just, a bad soccer team, and that's why they're going back down to the championship.
Yeah, we'll see what Watford does. They had it was Kuchka and Lusa that were injured over the weekend, and then Kamara, their new left back, he got sent off, so he's not going to be available for this match, and Cleverly left injured. So they're going to have some questions. We'll see. We'll see what they look like. I mean, there's no reason why Hodgson shouldn't mix things up and give someone else more time. I mean, there's nothing really here to play for, just to not get blown out, I guess, which they didn't let happen against Crystal Palace. So I guess that's going for them. But I don't know if I'd take Everton -115 here. Maybe take the under 2.5. I guess it's like just the way that Everton are playing right now. It's not overly confident. I guess it's just like the way they beat Chelsea was, they got that goal and they didn't really. It's not like they dominated the match or anything. But I mean, you look at the numbers against Leicester, and Leicester had more shots, they had more opportunities. They're 66% possession, and I probably watched about half of that match. And I mean, Leicester looked like the better team, and then like Everton got a couple goals, and that was it. So I guess I don't. I'm just saying I don't want to bet Everton to win, just basing the way off they play right now. I mean, they're getting wins, but they're not like this. Isn't like Man City where they're dominating possession. They're getting a ton of opportunities. It's like they're getting okay. They got a goal off a corner, and then they got that Michaelenko goal. So okay, maybe you can bet on that. I'd rather just say these teams, Everton are trying to play for lower scoring matches, I guess. And I'll just go with them under 2.5 and hope that Watford can't score like they haven't been able to score for the majority of the season. And then go with that. Calvert-Lewin, I think he's been on the bench the last 2 matches, and now he hasn't even been given minutes. So I'll just go with the under here.
Yeah, it's been weird to see him like what the heck happened. This is a season to forget for him.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, and looking forward a little bit, next season, he's really going to need wherever he's at. I mean, assuming it's still at Everton, he's really going to need to come on and like play strongly if he's going to get into that England squad for the World Cup. But yeah, he's been kind of non-existent towards the end of the season. I was taking a look at that last game they played back in October, and Joshua King scored a hat trick. So I don't think that's going to happen again. He's probably not even going to make the starting 11.
That's probably the last time he scored.
I swear. I think I might have like picked him up in like some season long fantasy teams just to like, oh well, Josh King is getting some run. He's fine in the back of the net, I'll put him in a lineup or two. And yeah, I think then he just like firmly went downhill from there. Yeah, I mean, reverse psychology here. You take Everton minus 115, and if we were to go by that, they're going to lose, which in turn would be a proposition to a promotion potentially to Leeds United. So I'll get into some reverse psychology a little bit later here, but kind of noteworthy here. I wouldn't mind seeing Everton go down as a Liverpool fan, but I just think they're a much better team and playing for a lot more here than Watford. So I'd much rather go with them.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that makes sense, but I think it was the Burnley Aston Villa game. Aston Villa, they don't have anything to play for. They came out, they dominated Burnley, who have everything
Yeah,
to play for. So,
right.
I mean, you could say all this, but some of these teams just, they want to keep winning, I guess, that kind of a thing. So,
Yeah, get those win bonuses.
yeah, exactly. Finish in the top half, get some
Yep,
confidence, stuff like
yep,
that. But
definitely.
next match, we got Wolverhampton at home. Wolverhampton plus 1,200 to win. They do not. I don't believe they have anything to play for. They're sitting in eighth. They're not going to finish in the top seven, so nothing to play for really, except if they want to finish in the top half, I guess. Man City minus 370 to win. Draws plus 475. Over 3.5 goals, you're getting plus 170. Over 2.5 goals, you're going to be minus. I think it's minus 130, and then under 2.5 goals, plus 120. So I was on the under against Newcastle, I believe, and I think you kind of like Newcastle double chance against Man City last week.
Destroy. I tossed it out there. Some long odds that might
You
be
should have
intriguing.
took Tottenham double chance. I think that's what you should have
Yeah,
done.
I forgot what that was, but couldn't have been that good.
Yeah, but it's just like I kind of want to go the under in this match. These teams, it was 1-0 early in the season. Man City's only goal was a Raheem Sterling PK. I will say Kevin De Bruyne did not. He came off the bench, I guess, in that match, but there's a chance he comes off the bench in this match because it is a short week. I mean, you look at the numbers in that previous game: 24 shots to Manchester City, 2 to Wolverhampton. Wolverhampton are at home, but how much does that matter? So is there any reason to bet against Manchester City right now? I mean, we that kind of came up into our heads because it's like, okay, they're coming off the defeat in Champions League, so maybe they're going to let this one slip away against Newcastle, but clearly that was not the case. What way are you betting this matchup then?
Yeah, I mean, firstly, we were looking at that. They were coming off a devastating loss, like one of the more devastating losses that you'll probably see this season, if not the most devastating loss. And I thought maybe there were some injury concerns. We might not, see a couple players out there. I was like, yeah, well, maybe Newcastle having played decently over the last since Eddie Howe joined. You thought maybe a plus 450 on the double chance might be kind of a long odds play. Turned out, we couldn't have been more wrong. City came out and they just throttled Newcastle 5-0. Keep the
I
change.
think
How are you?
you couldn't have been more wrong. I never said that.
Okay, I could. This is an I, not a
I think
we
I
thing.
took my under 3.5. That was my pick on that game.
Okay, so let's go back to we were wrong. If that's the case. But yeah, no, I mean, I'll take it all there. Definitely wasn't quite right, but I said plus 450. Why not? But anyways, the other thing here that I kind of want to ask you about, you're looking at the under here, but do you have any concern? We're going to be without Ruben Diaz, John Stones, Kyle Walker, and that Manchester City backline. RotoWire.com lineups is currently showing our projections as Aymeric Laporte and Fernandinho at center back, and then Alexander Sinchenko at left back, which they have played. But I mean, this is a team that gave up. I mean, let's be clear here: Wolverhampton is not Real Madrid, but they did give up quite a few goals to them. Any concern here that that the under might not be the play here with City kind of missing a couple guys? I still think they win no problem, but is there a chance for Wolverhampton to maybe find the back of the net?
It's possible. It's always possible. Like I said, I'd prefer the under if I had a choice. And I was looking at Manchester City to win to nil, which is minus 120. So still not the best odds, but like how much does it matter that I mean Fernandinho has played center back before, so it's
Yeah,
not like this is
definitely.
this is crazy. Not to mention he's a
Nope.
veteran. And like you look at the prior matchup, 2 shots for Wolverhampton, and I mean I guess prior to prior to that Chelsea game, they weren't really having much success up front, but then they got 2 goals. It seemed like Chelsea kind of, took their foot off the gas there against they're up 2-0, had some 2 cheap goals, I guess you could say. Lukaku did. I'm just kind of bitter about that one, but
Fair.
I kind of think Man City isn't a team like Chelsea who are going to let their foot up. I mean, well, all right. Maybe I should take that back after, they lost to Real Madrid.
They literally took their foot off the gas and lost.
All right. Let's not say that.
More clearly here, I want to know why we think Raul Jimenez isn't going to start.
He was benched 2 matches ago, so I just I'm going with that back and forth.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
Wolves don't
enough.
have anything to play for. Got to get their youngsters some minutes. That's my line thinking.
Okay, fair enough. The other thing that I wanted to touch on this match is we were talking. Adam and I usually like pick 3 games. This week, we don't quite have 10 games to go through, but we have 5 games or 6 games to talk about. The other thing is we were almost going to do the Aston Villa Liverpool game tomorrow. We've talked plenty about Liverpool. I don't think there's a ton that we need to say about them. But I was looking at the odds, and it's Aston Villa plus 650, Liverpool minus 230, Wolves plus 1200, Man City minus 370. Both Villa and Wolves are hosting City and Liverpool, but they have Wolves have about double the odds that Aston Villa does. So I'm just curious why the odds are so different. Meanwhile, Wolves is in 8th, Villa's in 11th. It's is that anything to take a peek at, or is that just kind of a skip? It just is what it is. They're both Liverpool and Man City are gonna win, and it doesn't matter.
They might win. We'll see what my suggestion is later, but yeah, I mean, we were talking before the show, and I think that's somewhat just the way Wolverhampton play, and then you got the Stevie G going against his former club, and what I'll get into later, just like the recent matches between Villa and Liverpool have been pretty close. Whereas, I mean, I don't know the last time Wolves actually took a point against Manchester City. I mean, we can go through this 1-0, 4-1, 3-1.
December 27th, right, 2019.
There we go. 3-2. That was an Ederson red card in the 12th minute. So do we think that's going to happen again?
Hey, and then they did it that same season.
Wait, October 6th,
2019.
Not only did Ederson get a red card, but so that meant Sergio Aguero was subbed off. But also in that same game, I'm seeing an assist for. Oh wait, it was a save PK for Patricio. I thought that I was misreading that as an assist for Patricio. All right, never mind.
All right, let's.
So I guess you got the recent win there, but
yeah, they won 2 of the past 5 matchups.
I mean, maybe. I just don't think Wolves are actually playing that well right now. They somehow got a point in that last game. Maybe we'll call it an iffy PK against Lukaku in the last one, but the second goal from Lukaku was I forgot who it was. The Wolves defender basically passed it right to Chelsea. Lukaku ended up getting like a free one-on-one with Jose Sa, and then and second goal right there. So I can't bet against Man City right now. You considered it last week. It didn't work. I feel like it's the same kind of situation. Like Wolves kind of want to play the same way that Newcastle kind of wanted to play. And I just don't think it's going to work when Man City are going to get 20 to 30 shots in the spot. They're going to get 70% possession. So, do you want to bet on the other team in that situation? Probably not.
Not really, no. Just tossing it out there, giving us options.
Yeah, need options. All right, the next match, we got the North London Derby. This one is Thursday. We got Tottenham are home, and Tottenham are plus 115 to win. Arsenal are plus 245 to win. Draws plus 250. You can get over 2.5 goals at minus 130. Under 2.5 goals at plus 105. I think you had a stat before we got on. This matchup has been dominated by home teams lately. I think it's the last 6 or 7, and the home team has won. So you think Tottenham are going to win this?
Yeah, I'm taking Tottenham fully. I'd rather. If you've listened to us all season long, I've got just a love-hate, mostly hate relationship with Mikel Arteta. When I thought he sucked, that's when he got good, and when I thought he was good, that's when he sucked, or they have sucked. So I just, I'm going to take him here, and they're going to win. Or I'm going to take Tottenham here, and Arsenal are going to win. But yeah, I think the thing to note, mostly as you mentioned, is the past. What is it? The home team has either won or drawn in the past 7 matches. That is including one like preseason friendly back in August. But aside from that, the home team's won the past 4 matches. So I kind of like Tottenham in this spot. What did we say they were at? They're at plus 115. So the odds aren't that. I mean, good enough. You're plus odds. So I think I'd roll with that.
Yeah, I before we saw that home stat, I kind of liked Arsenal. I thought they're playing a little better, just in terms of I think their past 3 or 4 matches. And Tottenham, they got a point against Liverpool, but we all heard Jurgen Klopp's complaints about the way Tottenham played in that match. So, but I kind of like. I think so. Over 2.5 is -130. I wouldn't hate over 3.5 at plus 185 here. I think there's a spot with goals. I mean, we just saw Arsenal against Leeds. Like they gave up a cheap goal at the end of that game. Like it was pretty much over 2-0. They're up a man. I believe they're up a man. Yeah, they're up a man. Luke Ayling had a red card in the 27th minute. And then they let up a late goal against Leeds. I don't know the last time they had a clean sheet. Some of that is partly because of we've talked about all their injuries that they've had, their defensive injuries, and while they're scoring and winning matches, they're still allowing goals. So I think Tottenham are going to score, and on the other side of that, Arsenal are playing probably like one of the best offenses right now in the league, and I think both teams will score. So we can get we're looking at Harry Kane plus 135 and Ketia's plus 240. If you don't want to go with that, you can get both teams to score, no draw. Yes is plus 145, and I think that's a pretty good route. You just got to hope that it's not a draw. When was the last time these teams drawed? It's been a while. Even then,
I guess it was
2019.
They drew. Let's see. Yeah,
they drew twice in 2019.
Yep, 2-2, 1-1.
But I mean, overall, not a ton of draws between these teams, at least, especially recently. So,
yeah,
plus 145 in that bet. Like I don't hate it, and they both need to win, really. I guess on one side of that, I guess Arsenal would be fine with the draw. So I guess maybe that could backfire if it's like 1-1 or 2-2 or something, and it's 10 minutes to go, and they're like, okay, well let's kind of play it safe. Let's get the draw, and I think I guess they still have 3 matches left, so I guess a draw wouldn't seal their 4th spot, but still, obviously, a draw definitely helps them 4 points above Tottenham.
I mean, you could certainly go draw here. I still think I like Tottenham win, but like Arsenal away at Tottenham. Yeah, you'd have to go back. I guess it's been 2 times that the away team has won, dating back to 2015. So it's like it rarely happens, and Tottenham, I think, right now have a much better attack. But
yeah, I mean, you look at the head-to-head record over the last 28. Tottenham have 10 wins, Arsenal have 11 wins, and there's been 7 draws. So pretty even. Yeah, to make that number even, Tottenham would have to win this. So plus 115. There you go.
Boom.
All right, so your best bet, you had the Chelsea, Newcastle under. Technically, my 9 straight is still active because that was a push. So still on 9 straight. I'm just 9-0-1. Yeah. So there you go. The fade of my bet is still active.
The Palace minus. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
it was. He had Palace -1 last week. They won 1-0.
Yeah, they couldn't get
despite being up a red card for 60 minutes.
They couldn't get that second goal for unclear reasons. They had a lot of good chances, and it just didn't happen. And I don't know why, but 9 straight. That's why my 9 straight had to keep going. That's why.
To keep on Adam's reverse psychology here, I'm going to get mine out of the way here as quickly as possible because it doesn't deserve much airtime. But I'm taking Everton -115. They're playing at Watford, fighting for their Premier League lives. Reverse psychology here is if I get it right, there's awesome. I got it right. The other way is if Everton lose, they're in they're in a pretty tight place there with Leeds, as both teams, sitting on, was it 34 points, trying to get out of the relegation battle. So I still think that they just are going to go in there and get it done. But yeah, not much more to say than that. Give me Everton -115 as my best bet.
All right, let's do it. I'm okay with it. We got some questions in the Watford lineup. We'll see what Hodgson wants to do. He has 3 matches left at Watford, so there you go. Okay, so I'm going Aston Villa. I'm going Aston Villa +1. You can get Aston Villa +1 at +120 odds. So you got pretty good odds right here. And I mean, that's simple. You can, if it's a draw, you win. If Aston Villa lose by a goal, you get your money back. So, I'm all about the getting your money back bets here to keep this 9 straight going. But you look at Liverpool, they haven't scored more than 2 goals away from home in 9 of their last 10 league matches. There's also going to be some rotation. We don't know who exactly is going to be in there. Like we could see Tsimikas in there. We could see Keita back in the midfield. Jota's probably going to be there. Maybe not as much of a difference for Liverpool, but we'll see what Aston Villa look like. They already brought some youngsters in a couple weeks ago. Jacob Ramsey's hurt, so that may be mixed up. We'll see if Coutinho's back in there. So we got all those questions. We got the short week. And you look at the last couple matchups between Aston Villa and Liverpool. So earlier in the season, the only goal that Liverpool scored was a PK by Salah. That was 1-0. And before that, these are both at Liverpool. Liverpool won 2-1 at the end of last season, and they needed like a stoppage time goal from Alexander-Arnold. I'm pretty sure that was a laser from outside the box. I'm just going off memory here, but
it was.
And those are the 2 recent matches, both at Liverpool, and both times, Liverpool or Aston Villa put up a pretty solid fight. I mean, they didn't like get a ton of chances themselves, but they put up a fight. So, both those games could have been draws. And then before that, really, you're looking at the 7-2 Aston Villa win. And before that, it doesn't really matter because, now Steven Gerrard's here. Different players, a lot of different players for Villa. I mean, across the pitch, really. So you have that. I just think Aston Villa is going to put up a fight, and maybe Liverpool, they get another stoppage time goal, and this is a push. But I think Villa, even though with nothing to play for, like this is a big game for Steven Gerrard, and I just think it's going to be a tight game. I wouldn't be surprised. Let me look at the over/under here. I mean, last 2 could have been. I mean, the last one was pretty much scoreless outside that PK, but you can get under 2.5 at +130. So I like that one too. I think it's going to be. I think Villa may have trouble scoring, and I think Liverpool will have trouble scoring. So there you go.
Fair. I can.
You don't like it?
No, I don't feel any way about it. I think it could easily be
going against your team. You can't give an opinion.
I would love to see some rotation. So I think Robertson, he could deserve a rest, and they got a big game coming up Saturday, man. We got a cup final. I just want to see the top tier team in there. Diaz, Salah, Mane up front. So if we got to get Firmino, sounds like he's been training, Diego Jota up front as well. One hurt. The league's kind of gone now. I don't know. We're close, but 3 points is pretty insurmountable against Manchester City. I like where your head's at.
I thought you're taking +1,200 Wolves though.
No, not a chance. You can get a double chance Wolverhampton at +300 if you are interested. I keep my eyes on those. It's a little bit hopeful.
Keep your eyes on it. All right, we got Everton -115 on the money line for Chris, and I got Aston Villa +1 against Liverpool. Any more thoughts for this midweek matrix?
No, just gonna watch some soccer again. Looking forward to this weekend. Also, no EPL games on Saturday. They're all on Sunday, I'm pretty sure. So we will probably, I don't know when we'll do our podcast, but yeah.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with that. We have a full, no Premier League Saturday because the FA Cup must be on Saturday, and
Yeah,
then Bundesliga has all 9 of their games on Saturday as well. So we got a lot of, I mean, no Premier League games, but it's still a pretty busy Saturday overall.
totally.
So
Yep.
should be a fun midweek. We got, what do we got? I guess the Leicester Norwich game does not have any meaning, but otherwise the other 5 matches have meaning. So pretty fun midweek, and we talked about the majority of them. So there we go. Good luck with your bets, and good luck to Richarlison getting another stoppage time winner or something.
Boom.
Next, Chris.
Thanks, Adam.
At CHROwen8 on Twitter. I'm at Zdroik. Again, rotowire.com/soccer trial. Free 10-day trial, no credit card required. Chris, thank you. And we'll see everyone later.